All right, I am calling the regular meeting of the Borough of Beach Haven to order on Monday, July 10th at 7 o'clock. And we have a flag salute led by Mr. White.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board in the entrance hall of the Beach Haven Municipal Building and mailing the same to the Beach Haven Times, the Asbury Park Press, and the Press of Atlantic City. Mr. Caxis.
Here.
Mr. Lynch.
Here.
Mr. Maskell.
Here.
Mr. White.
Here.
Mayor Davis.
Here. Okay, the Borough Manager's report, please.
I have cash receipts in the current fund account for the period June 1st through June 30th were $716,639.12. Cash disbursements in the current fund account for the month of June totaled $1,189,026.12. The cash balance in the current fund account as of this period totaled $10,417,152.08. Cash receipts in the water utility account for the period June 1 through June 30 were $24,177.41. Cash disbursements in the water utility account for the month of June totaled $49,137.73. And the cash balance in the water utility account as of June 30th was $2,543,746.01, submitted by our treasurer, Sherry Bullard.
Thank you.
I did get a report from the Beach Patrol from May 29th through July 9th, making note that the water was below 60 degrees until about July 7th, that there were 42 water rescues, 50 first aids on the beach, 6 missing or lost persons, 59 preventative measures such as moving of swim zones and stopping the digging of holes, etc., and 23 EMS first responder incidents. That's all I have this evening, Mayor.
Thank you very much. And we now have approval of the minutes. Has everybody read the minutes?
I have a May 17th agenda meeting and a May 17th executive session.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Ordinance 2017-14C, an ordinance amending Chapter 136, Section 4 and 5 of the Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, providing that the release of balloons into the atmosphere shall be a nuisance, and amending the penalties for all nuisances. Final reading.
This is a final reading. If there's any public comments, please come forward and state your name and address. Okay. Therefore, I close the floor. Is there a motion to approve this ordinance?
Motion to approve 2017-14C. Second.
Mr. Caxis?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
2017-18C, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 204-24A, water rates of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, to provide bona fide nonprofits an exemption from the standby or service charge required to provide water services. Final reading.
Again, is there anybody, this is the final reading, so anybody can come forward and comment on this. Would anybody like to come forward? In that case, I close the floor, and do I have a motion to approve this ordinance?
I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second? I'll second it.
Mr. Caxis?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
No.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
No.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 2017-19C, an ordinance amending Chapter 212, 7B1, non-conforming lots, uses and structures of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, to correct conflicting information in the code. Final reading.
Again, this is final reading. If anybody would like to come forward and speak to this ordinance, by the way, there are copies of the ordinances on the table over here. So anybody want to come forward and speak to this ordinance? Therefore, I close the floor. Do I have a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt 2017-19C.
Second.
Mr. Taxis?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2017-20C, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 74, Construction Codes Uniform of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, increasing permit fees. Final reading.
Again, final reading, would anybody like to come forward and discuss this? We are increasing some of our construction fees to get them more in line. They're still lower than the township in Manahawkin. Anybody like to come forward and speak to this? And therefore, I close the floor. Is there a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt 2017-20C. Second.
Mr. Taxis?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2017-22, an ordinance of the Borough of Beach Haven adopting the redevelopment plan for Block 167, Lot 4, within the Borough of Beach Haven, Ocean County, New Jersey. Final reading.
Again, this is the final reading, so anybody can come forward and make any comments about this. This is a new thing for us. We have our advisor here, Emily. If anybody would like to come forward or ask any questions? No? Therefore, I close the floor.
Motion to approve 22.
Second.
Mr. Taxis?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
Ordinance 2017-26C, an ordinance amending Chapter 199, Section 32, Article 10, Schedule 8, angled parking of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey. First reading.
Again, this is the first reading, so nobody can speak to it, but just to make it clarify things, we've had angled parking in Beach Haven for many years, but we never really had an ordinance except for one block in Beach Haven, so we're actually legally allowing angled parking at this point. Do I have a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve 26C.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Taxis?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
All matters listed under item consent agenda are considered to be routine by the municipal council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds, and any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Resolution 153, returning piling bonds. 161, returning park bonds. 162, opposing Senate Bill S771 regarding food waste recycling. 163, returning remaining escrow and performance bonds. 164, approving change order number 5, the correction of piling locations. Resolution 165, approving change order number 6, grade beam and additional tile. Resolution 166, reappointing Tracy Hafner as tax assessor. 168, awarding a contract to Fifth Room for the 2017 Taylor Avenue Park Pavilion project, pavilion materials. 169, authorizing the execution of an interlocal contract with Houston Galveston Area Council, the HGAC, for cooperative purchasing. 170, consenting to the submission of a raffle application for the Women's Club of Lacey. And finally, 171, consenting to the submission of a raffle application for David's Dream and Believe.
Would anybody on council like to discuss any of these resolutions separately? In that case, we can vote on the resolutions as a whole. Is there a motion to approve these resolutions?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Taxis?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
I have a bill list this evening in the amount of $2,147,453.41.
Again, has everybody read the bills? I appreciate the fact that they come out early. It gives us a chance to read them at our leisure and get questions asked to our CFO in a timely manner. Does anybody have any other questions? Therefore, do I have a motion to approve the bills?
Make a motion to approve the bills.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Paxton?
Yes.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Maskell?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes. Okay, so that brings us to public comment. And this is an opportunity for anybody to get up here and speak to us. If you're interested in making a public comment, please come to the microphone and state your name and address. So the floor is open for public comment. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Bruce Catini. I have a summer house at 322 Leeward Avenue, Beach Haven. First of all, I want to thank you for putting in the time and effort you do, because I know it's a thankless job. But I'm not sure if any of you are aware of the dune issue on Leeward Avenue. The beach access is almost impossible. My understanding is that the cause for the steepness of the incline has to do with some property issues that the town council had to do with some property owners. In comparison to other streets, the access on other streets is fairly reasonable. They have hard pack, some have carpeting, some have wood slats, all different types of access to enable you to get to the work. In my particular case, I have a new knee, brand new, and now my other knee is going to have to be replaced. Maybe not just because of this beach. It's like walking in the Sahara Desert up the steep incline and then down. And then when you're finished for the end of the day, trying to get back up is almost, this past weekend, I saw someone older than me fall, a woman, and our grandsons had to pick her up. I'd like to know, has anyone here on this council walked Leeward Avenue Beach?
I have not. I have to say,
No.
I have
No.
not.
I think you should, because like I say, the next street over, I'm not familiar with all the names. I've been living here 26 years,
Right.
and I don't know, I get lost every time I drive. But, Christie, what's the name of that street behind us, where the ice cream hall? Merivale. It's beautiful, you can walk up, you can drive a bike up there. You cannot access this beach. I see people struggling. I was walking up today with a cane. You can't get to it. By the time you get to the top park bench, you gotta take a rest. Now, I did contact the DPW gentleman. He responded they will take a look at it and try to do something this week. And they did try to do something today, is my understanding. I did go up there, to be honest. It was insufficient. They put a little bit of dirt down. But I would request that each one of you, now I know Mr. White, you live on Leeward, from my understanding, you should take a walk up there and see if you can walk up and down that beach. And because there's no public restrooms, you know what has to happen during the day, 9 times, especially if you have kids. Going up and down that hill wears you out. And I'm telling you, it's a hazard. And that woman fell, and people rushed to help her. And maybe you're not aware of it. Maybe.
Well, I think we're not. Maybe Sherry.
You weren't the only one that complained over the weekend. So I did talk to Chris Carson about making some improvements and putting the hard pack down. If you're saying that the hard pack isn't sufficient, then we'll look at some other options, maybe a
The hard
handrail
pack,
or
they put
something
down
else.
hard pack last year, and I guess it got wiped away with the
Yeah,
storm.
it gets covered over too.
But the hard pack, to be quite honest, when you put the hard pack down and then you start walking on it, you have a bunch of stones coming up, which is worse. And I do have some more complaint letters from people that came to me.
Okay.
So seriously, the hard pack is not going to be the answer. Now I know I've gone to the Seashell Restaurant, and I know it's private property, and they put down some kind of boards, and then they put a mat.
They have a map.
And that makes it, I mean, look, we all pay a lot of taxes, we all complain about the taxes we pay, but this is ridiculous. You can't even access the beach. I know the dunes are there to save the island, I have no problem with that. But you gotta be able to access the beach.
Well, you're absolutely right, and I promise you tomorrow, I will go up and try to.
I think, well, you should take a sojourn out there and, you know, bring cocktails and, I guarantee you won't be able to come back up the hill if you have a couple of cocktails. That's not loud, you know. So I do hope you will address the issue.
We will, we
Yes.
definitely will. We
And
know
I
it's
would
important.
like a response, because I did send an email,
Okay,
and that's the easiest way to communicate with anybody
Okay,
today.
easily.
If you can send an email to say, here's what we saw, here's what we're gonna do, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
I would
we will
appreciate it.
Definitely do that. We know how important it is. We know that there have been, we have had problems, as you can imagine.
I'm sure.
And we've known that these accesses to the beach were going to be difficult for us to maintain. We have bought special equipment to help us maintain these. But as you say, it's a nightmare, and we had so much erosion, particularly at your end of Beach Haven.
It's
That's
unbelievable.
been tough.
Last year, the beach, we played football on it. This year, we're back to the same old beach again.
I know.
I don't know what that's not your job, that's the U.S.
But
Army
the
Corps of
Army
Engineers.
Corps, but the surfing's better now.
I would know. I can't get up and down the hill to surf.
Okay,
I would
we'll
like
fix
to
it,
do
we
this.
want you to be able to get up and
And
down
give
the
your
hill.
contact
And
information.
everybody on Leeward Avenue, so we really, I appreciate you coming and.
And I'm just a spokesman because a lot of people say, well, they don't work during the week. So I stayed here today to come to
Okay.
the meeting.
Okay,
Everybody on the street is gone.
Thank you, sir.
right, well, we are very responsive, we have a really good public works department. And
Yeah, Chris was very
Right,
responsive.
he's wonderful.
And they sent the guy out there today, but if that's the best you can do, it's not gonna be enough.
Well, we'll do
And I'm
that.
sure it was just an effort.
We'll do better.
To satisfy us, but
Okay,
thank you very
we'll
much
do
for your
better.
time.
Thank you for.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Anybody else? You, more than welcome, Mr. Burris.
William Burris, 313 Center Street.
Speak into the microphone, Bill.
Until this week, then it'll be 100 North.
Can you hear him
I
back
can't hear
there?
you. I know I'm deaf, but I can't.
It's on.
Is it?
We got Jim White here to fix the microphone, so, there you go.
Okay, I said William Burris,
That's good.
313 Center Street, soon to be 100 Northwest Avenue. Furniture's in, we're not in yet. And with respect to that, I know there's been some question about the gazebo, and I've spoken to Frank. The gazebo is being built in place, and it's going to be exactly the way we presented it to you. The only change we made was Jim's suggestion that we lined up the crosswalks both ways. So it's got to be slid back a little bit, and I may have to alter that little rose garden that's in the front just to make sure that we have but it won't have its handicap access, it'll be exactly what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
We're also going to extend one more parking place that Jim was, when he stopped by, we kind of worked out in that. And we're putting a bike rack in, and we put Bonnie Glenhart's benches in this week that she had picked for the master plan, they kind of look nice. Now we're going to add some planters, kind of similar to what she did. So that's the update there. I just wanted to tell council something that happened this week that I thought was kind of important. Michael Peeler got a letter from Atlantic Electric terminating his lease, which is access to his property from 2nd Street. They've had a lease since they've been in the building with the electric company. They charge him $100 a year, and in exchange for that, I think Michael cleans their little piece of property there in the front, keeps it litter-free and all that stuff, but they decided they didn't want to renew his lease. So he can't park there any longer, he can't access it any longer, he has to move his trailer out of there. And, you know, we're already working through rebuilding and getting ready to put a whole new front on his building in the next couple of weeks, but, you know, he was coming tonight, his spirits are a
Well,
little
thank
low.
you for letting us
So
know
I
that.
just, we don't know why all of a sudden the electric company decided that,
Well, it's a new company, right? So-
yeah, it says Atlantic Electric,
Yeah,
the letter he got, but they thought it was interesting that, you know, they have no plans for that property, and they've done talk to them. I think it's ideal for the town to look seriously at for some parking that, you know, would be kind of needed for the downtown area. And, you know, I don't know why they would do. what
and
they did.
they charge him rent for that access?
$100 a year,
Oh,
which is, you know, I think just, and he insures, so he has to give them $1 million policy for insurance.
right.
But, I mean, it's kind of like kicking a guy when he's down. You know, as much as I'd like to do things to help, I don't know what I can do. I read the lease, he's got no rights, and he probably shouldn't have signed the lease that he did when he signed it 20 years ago. So, anyway, it is what it is. We're going to continue to try to get him open for this year, but that's, you know.
It's unfortunate. It's
yeah.
unfortunate.
Anyway, that's it, thanks.
Thank you, Bill. Would anybody else, please?
Just out of curiosity, is there any way to turn these fans on? I see your fans are on.
Light switches down there. But we might be wrapping up.
Oh, so.
Oh, the fans.
That's how we keep the meeting so short.
Yeah, we're saving you money on taxpayers, right? Okay, please come up and state your name and address.
You put it in backwards, he does that all the time.
You can hold it.
Hi, my name's Peter.
Can you?
I feel like I sound the same. Anyhow, my name's Lisa Sutton, and my sister Maureen Pastor and I are co-owners of 1 Berkeley Avenue. I'm here to address the road issue and the flooding issue. My parents had that house, I guess, purchased it over 25 years ago. Never had an issue with flooding. And then when Sandy came and the dunes were built, ever since then, anytime we have a really heavy rain, it just drains right in there. In fact, Maureen sent a video over from last Friday's storm. Did you get a copy? Did any of you see
I
that?
didn't see that.
Okay, well, we have it here if you want to look at it on the phone, but it just poured down the driveway. Last fall, we were told that the road was going to be fixed because of the pitch of the road, the water drains onto our property. That it was going to be fixed in March. And then March came, and I guess there was a delay in having it paved because Frank Little got the county to pay for it. So long story short, the town hired Mr. Little to investigate the road and determine if, in fact, there was a problem and what, in fact, could be done to fix it if there was a problem. So he came out and he checked it out and determined that there was a problem. There was a meeting on May 8th, which was like the day before the county was going to leave. They had planned on fixing the road. And my sister and I were not aware of that meeting on May 8th. We did watch it on the internet, and they were addressing this exact issue, which totally affects our property, and everybody else was here except for us.
But that wasn't, believe me, that wasn't a planned meeting. I mean, these people came like you are here tonight and started to address that. But yes, that did happen.
Okay, so I saw that meeting, and I could see that a lot of the, not, you know, some of the people were upset about the project. So it's confusing to me that the town hired the engineer to come out, assess the situation, and make a recommendation or not. He did make a recommendation that yes, there's a problem, yes, he thinks it should be fixed. He had full support from the state DEP, Chris Constantino, the project manager, to go ahead and do this. And then the issue was tabled at that meeting. And we missed the opportunity for the county to pay for it. So I'm kind of confused about why it was tabled when, what other information would you need to proceed? You know, you had a guy, you paid him to come look at the situation. He recommended it get fixed. He had the support of the state. And because there was some opposition from the neighbors, it was tabled. And in the meantime, we continue to get water again and again.
What was tabled, and Don, being an engineer, would probably speak to this better than I, we did not lose the county money. We can do this as soon as summer's over. We just don't do any work like that during the summer. There was some discussion as to whether it was going to affect flooding somewhere else in town, you know, down the line. The neighbors were concerned it was going to affect them, and that we weren't looking at the whole, this is as my recollection of it, we weren't looking at the whole street. There was other neighbors of yours on the street that were on the street that were concerned about it. They thought it was going to make their situation worse. So that's basically why we said, well, let's see what happens this summer. But Don could
Well,
probably
the other
better
comment
than
that was
me.
made, it's postponed, it's not tabled, it's gonna be
It's,
done in
yeah,
the fall.
it's going to be done in the
The fall.
fall.
At the
we
request
didn't-
of your neighbors, they requested that
Right.
we delay it until the fall.
But
and
we still have the county
still
money
gonna do it.
available. It's
It's
not,
gonna be done in the fall.
and nothing money-wise is
Okay,
affecting us.
that's not how I understood it. I thought it was going to be decided upon. So it is
No.
definitely going to be done in the
Yes,
fall.
yes, and the county's gonna do it in the fall.
Okay, because Frank clearly articulated in his plan that it had nothing, it wasn't gonna affect them at all. So I don't understand why they were so disgruntled when it really didn't affect them.
They don't understand.
They didn't understand, I don't think Dawn is better.
They didn't understand the engineering about
They
it
didn't.
and the contours of the road, because it was gonna be a crown. And when it really came about, they were concerned about flooding going onto their property because of the crowning of the road and everything else. And Frank did a really good explanation, so the feeling was, that when we left the meeting that night, that basically said we all agreed that Frank's project was gonna proceed, but because of the timeliness of it, will be done in the fall.
There were also some statements made that the flooding didn't exist anymore, that since the hardtack had been covered by some softer sand, that it wasn't rushing down the access point like it had been before, and that the flooding had kind of ceased. But
That's
we
not
saw
true.
when the torrential rain hit that this problem still exists.
Did you see the video? Yeah, I mean, you can just see it. Maureen has it on her phone. if
We've
anybody
all
wants to
seen it.
see
All right.
I haven't seen it, so maybe you'll pull
Just
it.
send it to me, yeah.
You have seen it?
Yeah,
Hi, I'm Maureen Kastner.
yes.
So, can I follow up with that though, in the meantime?
Did you speak into the microphone?
Yes, what do we do about the flooding in the meantime? Excuse me?
Sandbags.
Well, the one thing you could do is you could put a curb in.
Yeah.
I mean, that would probably solve your problem, if you put a curb in.
I mean, curbs are local, my neighbor had the same problem you had, he put a curb in. And curb, if you have a property now in town, you're required to put a curb in. You don't have a curb there, and it would solve the problem.
it. But the curb would be at the top of the driveway, which, you know,
Curb would go down along the road to the driveway.
A curb could be 3/8 of an inch.
Doesn't have to be that
It
high.
doesn't have to be a big curb, it can be sloped. You know, my neighbor drives over his curb to get into his driveway. But he put a curb across the front of his driveway to keep the water from rushing down his street, from Fifth Street, to go, because it was running under his house.
So, but I think that that was part of the neighbor's problem who was here, that she was worried that it was then going to flow into her house. So it's not just ours, it's as it continues down the road.
Well, the engineering solution that Frank recommended should not create that problem for your neighbor.
No, and I understood that because I called Frank just at the end of April, just to kind of see what was going on, and he asked me if I would like to see the plans. So he actually brought the plans over to me because I didn't want anything crazy going on up there either. And he assured me that it would just, be a slight dip in the road and then it would be done. And I have an email from him also which says the project will be done in 2 weeks. And so,
That was in April.
right, and we were just before this last meeting. So while I'm happy to hear that it will be done in the fall, are there any other assurances that you can give us on that?
Not really, I mean.
So it's gonna be planned for the fall work. And that's a Frank plan, and that's what he's scheduling to do. And that's what he's continuing to do, as part of the engineering meetings.
well, if you could maybe do it as a priority item, since it did get pushed back from May, that would be nice. As far as, the
Yeah,
order that
it's
it's
gonna be
done.
part of all the work that the county does in the fall for us. Yes.
I mean, we have windows when the county comes.
I understand that, I understand there was a tar issue and all that kind of stuff, and why we missed the fall, which was fine. So we were fine waiting until the spring, and then this just sort of came up very last minute, so it was surprising.
Thank you. Any other public comments? This is your last call. Okay, well, therefore, I will close the floor to public comments, and we have final remarks by council, starting with Mr. White,
No.
and then Mr. Mass.
I have one comment. I have a friend who is suffering home health care, who had 2 911 calls, emergencies, over the past 2 weeks. Our first responders turned out to be our beach patrol. Our police did come immediately thereafter, but the first people there were the beach patrol people. They were fantastic. Those guys just did a great job. Many of them are EMT trained, and so I just would like to put in the record that, you know, they did a terrific job, and
Thank you, Joe. That's good.
they were great. So were the police that followed up with it.
That's great.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that over July 4th weekend, I marveled at the number of people who were in town. This island swelled to maybe 4 times what you would think in a normal weekend. It was amazing. I know there was a lot of traffic. I'm sure there was a lot of money spent in proper places. So I would think that many of the retailers or the restaurants or whatever really made it out very nice to us. It was very nice to see the people come in. And I think Beach Haven is back. So that's a very positive thing.
Thank you. Mr. Packard.
Couple things. This past 2 weeks, I've been visiting maybe 35 or 40 commercial establishments, asking the people to do the survey online and giving it to their people. Whether it's both people that are real estate offices, commercial establishments, and they've all been very positive about the survey. So again, I ask everybody, please do the survey online for Beach Haven. We'll publish the results. The commercial people are appreciative of the effort, and so again, just you'll see these yellow signs. Please do the survey. Second thing. Was it lbisurvey.com, isn't it, Chuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's lbisurvey.com. It's online. We're hoping to get a couple thousand responses, and to help us, that would really help us in terms of asking people what they want in Beach Haven. And this is a real opportunity for people that own homes here, that don't vote here, to tell us what they like about Beach Haven and what they'd like to see changed in Beach Haven for the future. So the lbisurvey.com is a real opportunity for people to express their feelings regarding Beach Haven. Third thing, I don't know whether it was ever expressed, but we just completed our financial audit report, and it was excellent. The auditors, again, this is the 3rd or 4th year that we've had consecutive audit reports that were excellent. Results are outstanding, and the finance department should be commended on that.
Absolutely.
And finally, from the engineering meeting, we're moving ahead with the pavilion at the end of Taylor Avenue. The bids came in, the money is being awarded, and that project should be done sometime right after Labor Day, so we should have a new pavilion at the end of Taylor Avenue on the day.
And Don always takes all my thunder, so, I wanted to say that too, because it's so.
Go ahead.
Don is
That's
so
it,
great,
I
takes all my
agree.
thunder, but it's so exciting, because this is going to be such a beautiful spot. Harvey Cedars has what they call Sunset Bay. Well, we have our Sunset Bay, but it's going to be magnificent. And I do want to say, with the native garden that's down there, which shows people in town that they can grow native vegetation here in Beach Haven that can be flooded by salt water and comes back every year and looks beautiful. And with this lovely pavilion, and we have new playground equipment there, and Dawn's right, it's just very exciting. And that was one of the resolutions we passed to award that contract.
And as a public-private partnership, again, the foundation was paid for by a grant. We're buying the kit, and it's being erected by local
Jetty Life.
Jetty Life volunteers. So again, it's a cost-effective way of approaching these public-private partnerships.
And Jetty Life raised money in the Hop Sauce Festival, which they're donating back to the town to provide this pavilion, which we hope we can offer courses to kids about nature, native vegetation, sea life, and all the things that make it special here. And also, it'd be a wonderful place to have a wedding or any kind of ceremony. So we're excited about that. And the other thing I just wanted, there's so many good things happening in Beach Haven. One of the projects we did talk about tonight was this redevelopment on 5th Street, which is the old post office building. And Mr. Burris, it's actually Mr. Burris and Barb Konis, I think Barb's here.
She left.
Oh, she left. But this is an exciting, it's the first time ever that we've done anything like this, where we are having actual rehabilitation bill is rehab, it's not redevelopment, which is, it's kind of, I don't want to get into discussion. There is a difference. But what we're doing is, Bill is bought this property along with some partners, one of which is Barb Cona, who usually comes to the meeting, and they're going to put retail space on the bottom, and then they're going to raise it, well, they're not raising the building, but they're putting floors above the building, which will be condos. And what's very exciting is it will be our #1 first affordable living condo. And this is really exciting for us. We have been under the, I guess, the microscope of the affordable living people to do some affordable housing. And we really know that we need this. We want young people back in town. We need people in our fire department, our first aid squad that aren't over 60. And we have an informal agreement with affordable living people that we can actually give some of these people first opportunity to get into these units. And this will be our first one. And I know it sounds like not much, it's just one, but it's starting a trend, and we're excited about it. We think it's going to beautify Beach Haven, and other people might do this. Another really great concept is this idea of purchasing a retail space. And what we know in Beach Haven, the retail spaces are so expensive to rent. It costs sometimes $25,000 for somebody to rent a shop. You can imagine how much material, shirt, t-shirts, or food they have to sell in the 3 months they really have many people to even pay the rent. And the figures show that they can buy a retail space for less than what it costs to rent one, and they have ownership in it. So it's an exciting concept. I'm very excited about that. And the other thing I'm very excited about is the Surf Light, the show place. Where they've had sellout events. I hope everybody supports it. I took my little granddaughter to the Peter Pan, and she's still talking about the scary pirates. And the first show I saw was wonderful. It's very exciting to see the activity on the corner between on Beach Avenue between Center Street and Ingleside. So I recommend all the activities down there. So that's about all I have to say. All right. So that's my So it's lucky Jim didn't want to talk. Okay. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned, thank you.